This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. It's 8/23/23. That's a repeating day and year, and show 519. And the major indices are trying to rebound this week, Nick.
Yeah, they are trying to rebound a little bit. And, they've had a brutal 3 weeks prior to this one. So they were very oversold. And again, I'm looking for a little bit of a bounce. So far, we're getting it today. You do have the S&P 500 up about 0.75%, the NASDAQ up 1.25%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average just up 0.25%. So the markets are higher today, and they're staging a decent rebound, at least right now. You never know how the end of the day is going to turn out, but right now they are definitely on the rebound.
All right. So, hey. Well, as you say, it's not where they open, it's where they close, right?
That is right. It doesn't matter where they open. Many times we see very strong market and then they can turn down, around lunchtime or a little bit later in the day. And that's not a sign of strength. That would be a sign of weakness if they do reverse. So the close will be interesting. And Kerry, we got a lot going on this week. So we'll see where we finish today. Every day is important.
All right. So, yeah. Definitely. And we got Jackson Hole kicking off today, that whole confab.
Yes, the Fed pow-wow from Jackson Hole, Wyoming officially kicks off today. So we're going to hear from many Fed heads today and tomorrow. But the big one is going to be on Friday when we hear from Jay Powell. I believe he's giving a speech at 10 a.m. East Coast time. That speech will be what every trader and investor will be waiting to hear. And, including myself, I want to see where if he wants to move markets, he certainly can say something to move them in either direction. And we've seen this in the past during this Fed powwow, Jackson Hole symposium, and we'll see what this one brings.
Interesting. Yeah, well, something always happens at these confabs, whether it's of anything momentous or not is a whole nother story. So we got energy pulling back, huh? Oh, well, yeah. Before that, retail stocks reporting earnings this week. And, yes. What's happening?
Lots of retailers reporting. Yesterday we had Lowe's, but today we have Foot Locker, which has been beaten up pretty good already. And today that thing is just getting absolutely annihilated. Last I checked, this thing was trading down about 34%, now a $15 stock. On the flip side, you have Abercrombiw and Fitch, another retailer there, which is trading higher by 22%. Playing the earnings game is always very, very dangerous. I always tell my traders that I do not like to do it. I like to get out before the earnings announcement. And then tonight, Kerry, we have the mother of all earnings coming out this earnings season. Besides Apple, you're going to have NVIDIA. NVIDIA reports tonight after the close. Stock is trading up by about 2% now. Everybody's waiting to see if they can surprise the market. This thing has had a humongous run since the last earnings announcement. So we'll see if it can get to that psychological 500 level. And we'll see if it can hold gains if it does that, or does it roll over. So that's the big one tonight. That will set the tone tomorrow morning, especially for the technology names.
All right. That's pretty exciting. And started saying energy stocks pulling back a bit. I mean, we were up to $85 oil just about.
Yeah, now oil is testing the $80 level. I had told my members 85 was going to be the top. So we'll see if that is correct. So far it has been. Crude oil flirting with the $80 level. You break a little lower from here, you have a big support level on the daily chart for oil at around $75. So that will be important. But outside of that, you do have a lot of the energy names all backing off today. Pioneer is down by 1.5%, ExxonMobil down by 1.3%. So we got a pretty decent little pullback in the integrated energy plays. And, they've been very strong. So I don't think it's a big deal today, but they're definitely on the weaker side.
Long-term energy, a buy or a sell?
If you own it here, I think you can continue to own it. I wouldn't chase it. I'd wait for a pattern. But bigger picture, I still think energy stocks probably just chop around for the remainder of the year. Ultimately, if you get a big sell-off in crude, when crude gets down to, say, the low 50s, I would be a buyer with both hands in crude, and I would probably start to buy a lot of the energy stocks at that point. But right now, I think it's just a hold. I would not be participating with new capital on the integrated energy stocks. There'll be other pockets like nat gas stocks look pretty good to go higher.
All right. And the big news today is what's happening with metals and miners.
Oh, you got a ginormous move here in gold today, up 1%, and a monster move in silver, up over 3%. And the miners are really on fire. So GDX today up nearly 3%. Silver miners via the SIL is up over 3%, and the junior miners, gold miners, GDXJ, up 3%. Earlier today, in fact, Kerry, I took a trade the other day in Barrick Gold. I bought call options because I just saw the pattern was shaping out. I took 26% on that this morning in just basically 4 trading days. So
nice.
If I could continue to do that all the time, I'd be very happy, man.
So would your members as well.
That's right. That's right. And that's most important. But yeah, that was a nice little trade. And again, I'll be looking to reload on a pullback.
All right. So Bitcoin, our final one that we're following today.
Yeah, Bitcoin's catching a little bit of a bid today, trading up around 1% as I see it right now in Bitcoin futures. But something happened on Friday that really spooked me with Bitcoin. You broke this inside bar consolidation pattern on a weekly chart. And when I see that, I'm very, very cautious. So while Bitcoin is a bit oversold here on the daily chart, just remember that weekly chart pattern is broken. Best moves come from failed moves. Ultimately, I think Bitcoin now trades lower.
Yeah, it's still only at 26,000. A week and a half ago, it was over 30,000. Actually, 2 weeks ago, that's when I dumped mine. And now I'm going to follow it down. I'm going to average down on it. And then see what happens here. But longer term, you're still bearish, right?
Yeah, your next key level for a nice bounce, though, would be around the 21,500 area. So right around there on Bitcoin futures, that's where I do think you're probably poised for a bounce. Now, depending on how you get into that level, that will tell me the degree of the bounce, how good it's going to be. But ultimately, if we come in there with a bearish pattern, then, Bitcoin's in for a rude awakening. And, I've been talking about 11,000 for a long, long time, although I don't expect that to happen right away. But that's still on the table and in the cards here.
Okay, well, that's it for today. Make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, see how he's done it for decades. And the Twitter feeds are at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Emails are welcome, kl@kerrylutz.com. I got a couple that we have to address next time, Nick. And of course, leave your comments below on the YouTube channel. We'll review some of them as well. Nick, hopefully we'll get to you on Friday.
Sounds good, Kerry.